Okay, so we are going to talk about the P802. We just covered in details the Overland 6x6, the 4x4, and the Lisu Mercedes 8x8. We're going to see how this guy compares. So the HG802, actually 1, 2, and 3, 3A, I think, came on the market about maybe a year. So the 801 maybe a year ago, give or take. Then it was the 2 and the 3 shortly after. So Gerry's old guy review, he got the 801. That is the 802, which has the hitch there, and there's the RC Tanks got the 3. So if you want reviews of all those 3, go check these 2 other channels. Gerry's old guy review, RC Tanks, and well, mine now with the 802. So it's really interesting because what they've done with this product here is shows a business model that I really like, and that I didn't really trust, to be honest, at first, mostly because I was telling myself that's another JD model. No, it is not. It's different. So remember in the other video, I was complaining that JD models are hard to maintain. They're not like engineered properly, or to some degree. Well, you're talking about a $550 vehicle, give or take. These guys tend to change price all the time, but around $550. The other one is almost $900. So I'll forgive a lot of things on these guys, on this guy, that I can't forgive on the Overland. So I have to be fair there. But what I do like is that the way that HG comes up with models and products, you're basically building a fleet that you can upgrade if you want to, that you can get bare bone if you want to, that you can turn into a fleet of vehicle. And if you look at the promos, they're like, it's like a movie thing where they have a scene, they have tanks, and you can make it what you want. It's expendable. Okay, that is the complete opposite of JD Model's business model. I'll give you a simple example. The transmitter. That is the transmitter of the Overland 6x6. This is an RC4WD transmitter. It is paired with the 6-channel receiver that also works with the RC6GS, which is the 6-channel version of this transmitter. Now, there's no light system in the JD model yet. You can put a winch if you wanted to. People who buy these trucks tend to want to play with them and upgrade them. Why are we given a 4-channel transmitter in a truck that is almost already maxed out in terms of channels? Why is there only one servo for 2 functions, locking diffs, transmissions? This guy is almost the complete opposite of its philosophy. You can get this guy with I think you can get this guy with the light kit. And if you can't, you can buy the light kit that goes with it. Same with the sound kit. And if you go on Asia Tees, because they sell these guys too, you have different grades or levels if you want for all the HG product. Lights, no lights, sound, no sound, different color schemes. You can really get it the way you like. Now, where have they cut corners? Because everybody cuts. Some have to cut corners. So you can't be perfect. Otherwise, it'd be too easy. I'd say it's in the interior, actually. So you have an interior with a lot of details. I'm not complaining, but they've put hold on. Should I show you a video? See, so there's a fair amount of details, but the gauges are it's a sticker. Okay, so fair enough. At 550, I mean, you can't ask for too much, and you have a lot of details either way. I'm just flipping. You have a lot of details there, a lot of details in here. You can paint that if you want to. That's metal, by the way. This is the transmission cover with the motor in there. That's metal. You've got servos there, kind of a, it's a bit odd, but I like the fact that it's expandable. You can make this what you want: light kit, sound kit, and the crane. And that's specifically why I got the 802 rather than the other two, because I knew that if this had that, inevitably they would come up with a trailer. Well, fair enough. So sure enough, they did about a year later, but they did. And there's a crane that is green for just like the same color as the 801 and 803, but that can, be attached to this guy. So again, doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but you can always paint the crane, which I intend to do. So I got the crane for that as well. It's got the trailer and the crane. I hadn't had a chance to put them there. That's plastic. Is it plastic? No, sorry, that is metal. That is plastic. That is plastic. Slightly flimsy. Look at this. That's flimsy. If it falls, I can definitely see this breaking. However, all of this, that's all metal. This entire front, and I don't know if you can see, there's even a slight difference in color. This is metal. That's really thick. That's like 2 millimeter. And that's actually where the sound kit goes in here. I'm going to try to outfit the Overland with the same sound kit, because it's not a really good one, but it does it's cheap, and I think it's small enough to fit into the really tiny space that we have with the Overland. Now let's have a quick look at the transmission components, the drivetrain. 8 millimeter there, so that's as big as the Overland, bigger than the Lisu. The quality of the axles rather, very similar to the JD model. So you kind of see the gap. It fits more or less together. There's no leak. Then again, maybe it doesn't have enough oil. Who knows? I'll open them up and see. But the suspension system is also different. So there's no links. So the Overland and the Lisu have 4 links, I think, that connect the 4 wheels. So it really gives an articulation and connects. So basically, if you were to lift that wheel, it will lower that one, and that way it would ensure that there's always a tire in contact with the ground. That's very different. So there's only 2 links. There's one here and one on the other side. And the way that the suspension works, there's one big plastic leaf, and the other ones are metal. So the only one that really works is the plastic one, which makes sense. It's going to carry the weight, and it'll get back into shape without bending. In terms of travel, you probably have something similar to the Lisu, so like 1/2 inch, give or take. However, it's more flexible. It's more there's more it feels like it moves a lot easier. Yeah, actually it does. A lot easier and more independently. It's not going to be as stiff of a ride at all. So I don't know if I can put some grease or some oil in those guys. Who knows? I'm not sure. I'll figure that out. But it seems like it's going to have a pretty scale ride. That's metal there. And something that I really like, they've put, unlike the JD model, little rubber tips there so that you're not gonna mess up your cables. What else can we see? So that's the box where the receiver was. I got rid of that. I'm gonna put my own transmitter. You can put it on the side and see. So little details there. That's rubber. That's so neat, because if it falls, you're not gonna damage this. That's rubber too. That's really cool. Attention to details, like and I guess risk management in a way. Let's put it there. So you got a little winch there. Well, a full winch. That's metal. This is flexible. Your little mud guards there. I think your ESC is in this, if I recall. I'm going to change that too. Yeah, there's a lot of metal going on. That thing it looks like it's going to be a sturdy piece. How many leaves? Same leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 at the front, 5 with 1, 2, 3, 4 metal. 4 metal leaves and 1 plastic, and here it's the same thing. 4 metal leaves and 1 plastic, so 5 everywhere. Cable management is not the neatest, but it does the trick. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, and oh, that's really interesting. Just gonna flip that over. Interesting coincidence. Believe it or not, this truck is almost exactly the same length as the 6x6 Overland and almost the same weight, 14.96. The other one is 14.9. It's they're really close. Do I feel, so what's the difference? $350 of difference, but it's in reality it's more than that, because let's remember, RC4WD drive charges $170 of surcharge just to ship the truck. You haven't even paid shipping yet. I think so. Shipping is on top, I believe, of that, and I guess it depends where you live. I'm in Canada, so that obviously anything that has to do with shipping in Canada is like horrible. This guy, you can get it for $550 shipped at your door. I really like the business model. I like the fact that it's expandable. I like the fact that you can do a fleet. Those guys are 1/12, by the way. The Overland is supposed to be 1/14. It's closer to 1/12. Zetros is not as big as in real life, relatively speaking, than what we're seeing there. It doesn't have locking diffs. It has cable steering, which is interesting, but not not the best mechanism when you think about it, but an interesting one. And what I really like, you go on AliExpress, you find vendors that will sell you all the bits and pieces for these guys. And that was my worry at first, like, oh, okay, here's another JD model, it's going to be hard to find. No, you can actually pretty much find everything. The only thing I haven't been able to find for these trucks, and it's not even for this one, it's for the HG803A model that RC Tank has. It's the lifting, the tipper mechanism for the bed. That's the only thing I wasn't able to find, and that's why that's one of the reasons why I didn't get this one. The rest you can literally find every single piece easily, which is good. There's good aftermarket support, so I think the value is fantastic. Probably amongst the best of these trucks. Not the best, I'll show you the best in a second, but definitely something to consider. What I intend to do with this truck, change the ESC, put a 1080 in there, Hobbyist 1080, have proper drag brake, change the motor, put the motor of the Mammoth BC8, the Cross RC, which I still have to build. I'll make a comparison with the two at some point. It's a much stronger motor rather. And I want it to go a bit slower, and the transmitter as well. It's geared way too high. That thing goes way too fast. I've seen it go. It's that everybody says the same thing. I'll gear it. I can't gear it down. I can. I could technically change the transmission. GCM Racing has I believe the LS2, LR2. I can't recall what it's called, but they were able to outfit their own transmission. But I want to keep the scale look of that. And even though they have a scale transmission, it looks a little bit off, I find. Even though it's a much better transmission than what's in there right now, it's basically indestructible. I want to keep the transmission there, but I'm gonna put a really motor with a lot of turns, a 35 turn, bigger can, and a 1080, and a better transmitter, and all of that to get it to drive the way that it's supposed to drive. So that's that for the HG P802. We're gonna check the HG P602 in a sec.